Good evening, Rando fans. My name is Etienne. I'm joined today by James FNX. How are you doing, James?
I'm doing good. Looks like we're gonna have another great race tonight.
Yeah, a little bit of late night Rando. We got GanonsGoneWild versus apathyduck. And so I understand GanonsGoneWild took game one. And apathyduck has chosen to make this a 6-6 race. So that means there will be 6 crystals required to get into Ganon's tower, and 6 crystals required to defeat Ganon. And it can be any of the 7 crystals, so you just need to collect 6 of the 7 crystals available.
Yeah, this is gonna put our runner's skills to the test, as you can get into situations where don't need hookshot to beat the seed. Might have a hover. Don't need fire rod. You might have might be required, or not required, but might be in your best interest to do the bomb jump in Ganon's tower. There's a lot of interesting things that this opens up.
Yeah, for sure. Now I know Ganon's Gone Wild, it can hover. I'm not sure about apathyduck, but we may see that come into play. So keep our eyes peeled on that. But we should be getting underway any minute now. And it looks like the players do have their file screens ready. So all in all, it should be a slightly shorter seed than usual, but not by that much. You can still have some pretty big trolls in this mode.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. A pedestal is very unlikely to be required, but it could still be. For example, if you have the cane on the pedestal, you would need that for at least one of Mire or Turtle Rock. But we're far less likely to see a ped seed.
It's a good start for both our runners, finding Hammer at Link's house.
Yeah, we are seeing both runners do the Uncle route. So starting at Link's house, running up, grabbing this sign. What they're going to do is use the sign to kill an enemy, and that'll give them access to a tree pole. So the tree pole depends on how many enemies you've killed, and this will give you the tier 1 tree pole, and in this case it's blue rupees, which is kind of nice.
It's better than what it was last night for him. I think it ended up having hearts in it.
Another nice thing about the Uncle Road is there are a couple of magic pots there, and sometimes having that little bit of early magic can come in handy. For example, if you want to check Magic Bat, if you happen to get access to that.
Yep, and with the hammer, it looks like both our runners are going to choose to do the front of escape, looping that in with these early checks.
Yeah, I really like this play from both runners. This is one of those annoying checks that if you don't do it early, sometimes you just tend to put it off forever. So might as well get it out of the way while you're here.
Yeah, it's definitely something that if you don't have a reason to do Aghanim 1, for example, and you have so many things open up in a seed, you can just forget this exists.
All right, coming up on the map chest, just a heart piece in there. And very nice sync between both these runners.
apathyduck having a little problem here.
Yeah. Yeah, the hammer is a very powerful weapon, but it's also a little bit trickier to use. The hitbox on it is kind of weird. So, not as nice a weapon as a sword.
Yeah, I'm also not sure if apathyduck might have been killing an extra enemy there, maybe set up a full escape if everything lines up correctly.
And both runners taking out that ball and chain guard with no problem, and just a map. So nothing out of escape, but no big harm.
Yeah, we should see more sync here as both runners are going to go to Sanctuary. Last night, neither runner checked graveyard or lumberjack ledge on the way out. I wouldn't expect him to check that either. It's even more of a speculative spot in 6-6.
Yeah. And especially a lot of runners don't like to check it without the boots, since you need the boots to get that item anyway. And having the boots makes that check just a little bit faster. So it looks like our probably tier 2 tree pull with small magics. Apathyduck actually going to go up and check the bush grab. Gets 8 bomb drops. That's really nice.
That's really big. GanonsGoneWild saw a blue boomerang and skipped it. apathyduck is going to grab it though.
Yeah, it takes a couple sections to grab, but it can come in handy when you don't have a sword. You can use it to hit switches, stun enemies, and it helps menuing a little bit. So, for some runners, it's worth the 3 seconds to go grab it. And GanonsGoneWild not going up to check that bush grab. He's got no bombs. He does have money to buy bombs, but it'll cost him a little bit of time to have to run down to the bomb shop and then back up.
Yeah, thankfully with the pot rupees, he won't have any issues getting a bottle vendor cash, but this will cost him a little bit of time.
Yeah, we do find a vanilla empty bottle in the tavern, so we can check Sick Kid right away.
And that little map check, there's a mirror from the Sick Kid, so both runners are going to get that pretty soon. But our map check really quick, we have a green pennant on Tower Hera and Eastern Desert a regular crystal.
Ooh, and a flute in Kakariko, and a moon pearl.
This Kakariko is loaded with items.
Yeah, we're not even close to done. Some more bombs in the back of Blind's hut. GanonsGoneWild gonna check chicken hunt now. And then finds an ice rod. Wow.
Always good feeling when you find that ice rod and you're not having to spend all seed looking for it.
apathyduck now into the well. And we got a sword. And 300 bucks. So and another 50 there as well. So a lot of money and a lot of really nice items out of Kakariko.
Yeah, a lot of chance for route deviation. With the flute, you could head up to Death Mountain. There's also South Shore and Eastern area, all full of items.
Yeah, I would expect most runners in this situation probably going to head straight to South Shore. Especially with that flute, it makes the dam and mini Moldarm Cave. That's 7 really quick items you can get right now. Oh, we actually had a blue potion in the well, or in Blindside as well, so nice safety there.
It looks like apathyduck will be getting out of Kakariko first.
And is gonna buy bombs? Has already 9 bombs, so decided, wait, I don't need to buy bombs. GanonsGoneWild activating that flute. And both runners finishing off with Kakariko just a few seconds apart. And get a look at the library. Nothing there, just 20 bucks. GanonsGoneWild opting to check the race game before diving into it. And I didn't see what that was, but he doesn't seem interested. So
It was a big 20.
alright, off to the dam now. apathyduck actually going to take a different route here and check out the mountain.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the duck actually saw what was on the race game legend before the flute duck got him, but as we know, it doesn't really matter.
This is definitely a big play coming up to the mountain this early. There's no fire source, and you don't have the hook shot to pull off the Hera pot, so you can't beat it if it's fire locked. GanonsGoneWild, meanwhile, finding a cane of Samaria at the dam, and there's a fire rod.
There's that fire source.
So yeah, never mind what I was saying there.
But with the items lining up the way they are, that's both rods and cane of Samaria very early, and a hammer. We're just a couple gloves away from Turtle Rock very quickly.
Yeah, for sure. GanonsGoneWild checking out mini Moldarm Cave. We got a Bombos Battalion, so speaking of Turtle Rock, that could be our entry.
Nice bomb jump from apathyduck.
And apathyduck not taking this opportunity to give us a Dark Old map check. Probably just slipped his mind there. Meanwhile, GanonsGoneWild checking out Ice Rod Cave as apathyduck heads into Hera.
Yeah, it's nice having that flute to check Ice Rod Cave. Without boots and just walking from South Shore, it's a real slow go.
And nothing inside there. There's that big key. So we don't have to worry about the basement just yet, but apathyduck is not going to worry about anything else in Hera.
Yeah, it's a green pen and it's not a crystal. So you might be gambling a bit that nothing else in there is required.
And GanonsGoneWild doing a slight sequence break here to get the old man without the lamp. apathyduck skipped this. And we're going to get a spiral cave check here. And just a bug net from the old man.
Yeah, when you want to kill Aghanim in style.
Spiral cave paying off with $100. apathyduck could have gone in the upper door to Paradox, use the mirror to delete that block, but when you're on 1.5 hearts, those Tektites can kill you in one shot, so I can understand going around the long way here.
Yeah, absolutely. Even Spiral Cave is a bit of a risk on 1.5 hearts with only a sword.
And we find 11 arrows in the bottom of Paradox. And nice job getting all 3 Moldarms with a single sword spin there.
red pot and a couple of hearts and Paradox Cave, nothing else. Apathyduck is not going to go back and check Old Man, and I would assume he's going to head to South Shore, where he'll get his cane.
So we still have a few checks left. We did get the key in Sanctuary, and with that fire rod, that's going to put Dark Cross and Back of Escape into Logic the long way. Our runners, of course, would hope to find a glove first to make that a little quicker. And we also have, of course, the entire eastern area available. Agena's Cave is an option. And, of course, there is some stuff left in the Tower of Hera.
Yep, and it looks like we might get to see it, GanonsGoneWild. Nope, he's out too with just the big key. Oh. Nope, he's going upstairs. Really nice bomb jump pulled off by GanonsGoneWild. That jump is very, very tight, just 2 pixels.
Yeah, it's a dangerous one as well. If you fail that bomb jump, you fall down 2 floors. That's close to a minute of time loss.
Yeah, and
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, depending on how you have your screen scroll when you fall, you might just have to mirror out or soft reset if you don't have the mirror.
And GanonsGoneWild actually going to drink a blue potion here. Don't blame him. 1 heart against Moldorm is really scary. I think I'm actually going to do fake flippers here and get some of these out of logic checks. And there's a compass, so I do believe there's an item in the basement. And of course, there's also an item on that green pendant turn-in.
Just 50 rupees on the hobo.
It's a bit surprising to see apathyduck want to do some of the out of logic things. Not even Zora is in logic right now.
Yeah, with no glove, you can't get there normally. Maybe he's feeling like there's not a lot to do. Wants to pull it off Eastern. With having the mirror, he wants to put off Eastern until he gets Dark World access and do it back to back with Pod.
And of course, if he finds something nice here, that could be a big advantage for him. So, Ganons, meanwhile, is going to be taking that coffee break.
No love in Waterfall Cave for the apathyduck. A little love on Zora's Ledge.
And just a shield in a Hera basement. So not paying off there for GanonsGoneWild. Let's see what Zora's got today. Just 10 arrows. So the entire Zora area, pretty much trash.
Yeah, I didn't happen to catch what was on Lake Hilly Island, but that whole fake flipper sequence did not pay off for apathyduck one bit.
Yeah, it looks like Apathy now heading over towards the eastern area. I've never really timed it, but I think it is faster to walk from Link's house to Sahasvilla than it is to flute to 5 and walk from there. Ooh. And GanonsGoneWild taking a death in Spiral Cave.
Yeah, like I said earlier, that cave is really dangerous. Mini Moldorn gets out of hand, and one heart each hit.
Yeah, that is not a place you want to take a death because it takes a while to get back there. And there's those flippers and a glove. So, a couple of really nice items behind Sahasvilla. And that's going to give us Dark World access.
Yep. Got to feel bad when you see the flippers right after you fake flipper, but getting Dark World access right next to it's got to alleviate that a little bit.
So, Apathy gonna head into Dark World now, starting off with Hype Cave. Here's our map check. We got pendants at Turtle Rock and Mire, and 5-6 crystals at Skull Woods and Swamp Palace. So, all the early items pointing towards Turtle Rock, of course, is going to be pendant, right?
Yeah, that is the Murphy's Law of that. It does make Kane pretty interesting, as it's not required for any of the crystals, but still could be required for Ganon's Tower access.
Yeah, and if you're one of those people that likes to root for a pedestal seed, we're not far off from that pedestal being in Logic. Of course, we don't know what we need to get into Mire or Turtle Rock, but once we find the Titan's Mitts, we can check that out.
apathyduck not getting much out of Hype Cave. I think just a heart container and some other trash drops, and is going to head over to Northwest Dark World, Village Outcast area.
Yeah, can take care of Skull Woods and Thieves Town along with a bunch of overworld checks here, so this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, outside of boots, if you're apathyduck, you're really hoping to find mitts here fairly early to give yourself a lot of options in terms of movement in the Dark World. Otherwise, you're kind of stuck making a decision whether to stay north and get those checks done, or go south.
Yeah, apathyduck heading first for Skull Woods.
Yeah, this is a dungeon you can full clear. It is a bit of a low percent clear, but I think when you sign up for a 6/6 seed, you're signing up for that low percent life.
Yeah, it is also a 5-6 crystal. And thank you for reminding me. I was forgetting it was a 5-6. So, or sorry, 6-6. It's that big key, and it's vanilla location.
I like this routing from apathyduck going back to front.
You know, looking at the crystals, we're actually really, really close to go mode right now. We need, we definitely need a bow, because we have to do at least one of Eastern or Pod. And we need the Titan's Mitts, because Titan's Mitts are required to get to Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, we need bow, we need mitts, we might need boots if Desert Palace is boots locked, and I think that's it.
Yeah, that hook shot will be a big question. That's logically required for Ganon's Tower, but again, if these runners can hover, they'll be able to skip that.
Yeah, and of course the Master Sword.
So we could be potentially looking at a very fast seed here.
Yeah, this is a 6 crystals seed. 6 crystals for Ganon Tower's entrance, 6 crystals to beat Ganon. So Swamp Palace requiring that hook shot may not come into play.
Apathyduck having to be careful there not to get grabbed by that Wall Master. And spots a full magic drop there in the corner, says, you know what? I think that's going to help me on Moth.
Yeah, I would prefer to do caster strats on Moth and getting in up close and having to do a bunch of hammer hits. Moth being pretty uncooperative here in this fight, sticking on the left and right sides.
GanonsGoneWild checking Hylia Island here. Obviously didn't check it earlier, but is going to go for some flipper checks, it looks like, as Apathyduck does get the Moth down and is rewarded with a heart piece.
And yeah, that is both items in the back. So Apathyduck saving a ton of time with his back to front routing.
So Ganon's routing here a little bit offbeat, I think. Whereas Apathy taking a much more direct route towards the high density area and spots the boots there on Bumper Ledge. That's a big find.
Yeah, it's time to party with the Murderodactyls to get these boots.
Meanwhile, Ganon's heading up towards Catfish. We'll be able to mirror and check the entire Zora area afterwards. So, if Catfish has something big, that could be huge for Ganon's because Apathyduck has that area pretty much isolated right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And this flowed out very well. The chat pointing out that the cape to get those boots was in Skull Woods in that small chest in the back. So everything flowing pretty well for Apathyduck on this route so far.
And Ganon's, meanwhile, getting into a bit of health trouble again here, but Zora area not too bad. Should be okay. Ooh, there's a book on Catfish.
That could be really important. We know it's not needed to get into desert, unless one of those, where the mitts are on one of those tablets.
Yeah, or in desert itself. Ganon's using that kind of neat feature from the... Ooh, gets sniped there by the Zora. So he threw a bottle into the fairy, and in the randomizer, that refills you with a random contents. In this case, he got a fairy, and that came in handy right away.
Yeah, there's a small part of me that No, looking at this, how the seed has gone so far, being so low health and low safety, I might have just walked back and threw that bottle right back in the fairy fountain.
All right, apathyduck heading towards the back of Thieves Town now.
GanonsGoneWild getting interrupted a bit by the boulders up here on Death Mountain trying to flute away. So GanonsGoneWild's going to do his North Dark World routing as apathyduck finishes up Thieves Town, heading to the basement.
And Ganon's going to be able to do a ped check here with Skullwoods. Again, pedestal seeds in 6-6, very unlikely. But it is possible here if the bow, if there's a bow there and it's the only bow we can find, then we would need it.
It could also be interesting if the hook shot is there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it could be something like a hook shot on a pedestal. I'm trying to think, because if they can hover, then it wouldn't be required.
Right. That's we find out what these players are capable of. If that happens, I think those are the only two things that could be there, or fetish quest items that lead to one of those two things.
Yeah.
GanonsGoneWild choosing to go back to front in Skull, or front to back in Skull, which is going to cost them a little bit of time.
Yeah, meanwhile, apathyduck getting that second crystal out of Thieves Town. And checking out the brewery. Just a heart piece there. Nice bonk there from Apathy.
Apathy choosing to go south. He already did Hype Cave though, so I don't know if this is the best decision for him.
I was actually mirroring to check that race game which he skipped earlier.
Yeah, I noticed earlier when he fluted out of there, he got caught by the bird just before he actually saw the item.
And actually choosing to pick up that shield. The shields in this game not really useful, and they can even actually add a bit of lag. But some runners like them. They do block projectiles.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice because the boss fight where shields are most useful, he's already done. The blind fight, if you have the fire shield, can be made a lot easier.
Looks like Apathy now heading back up to do the North Dark World stuff, so we'll presumably do Graveyard Ledge, Bonk Rocks, King's Tomb over into maybe Catfish.
Yeah, that's my guess as well. GanonsGoneWild having to use another potion in this Mothhill fight. Mothhill fight with Hammer is no joke.
Yeah, it is a tough fight. Alright, so where to go next? I'm thinking Desert is pretty likely here from... well, GanonsGoneWild probably going to do Thieves Town first. And
First, we're going to get a pedestal check.
Yeah. So this will be interesting. And just catch cash. So our pedestal hopes were pretty slim in the first place, but that confirms it.
Yeah, it's less to feel good when you see Turtle Rock as a pendant and you know you don't have to do it to get the pedestal item.
Bonk Rocks turning up with nothing useful. Let's see what we got in Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb. Just 3 bombs in Graveyard Ledge. And Ganon spots those boots. And has to be a little careful here, getting kind of surrounded a bit by some enemies. Pulls out the fire rod to just mow them down.
Smart. Use whatever resources you got to get through there. It's a very dangerous spot with those murderodactyls coming at you, and damage from the moblins is 2 hearts if they touch you.
Yeah, I didn't see what was in King's Tomb, but chat isn't yelling at me, so I assume it was nothing important.
Apathyduck deciding to go up and do a catfish, so he'll get his book shortly.
And GanonsGoneWild checking Lumberjack. I don't believe we saw this yet.
Oh!
There's the hook shot on Lumberjack Ledge.
Well, we're going to find out what these runners are made of, whether they want that hook shot or not.
Yeah, this is now, even if you can hover, there's still a chance that hook shot's required. Because we could still have something like Titan's Mitts in the back of the Swamp Palace.
Yeah, Titan's Mitts or even a bow.
Alright, apathyduck now making the play towards Desert Palace. It's the only crystal we can full clear right now, so this is the logical play. So yeah, if you're a hoverer, that is exactly what you're hoping to see right now.
Yeah, especially in a 6/6 seed where you just don't have to do swamp. Like always, it's always good to have an item that you don't need show up in a place that's really hard to get to.
And a big 300 on the Desert Torch. So I believe second item on Landmo.
That's what it's looking like. Yep.
Yeah, chat asking about the hoverers. I know GanonsGoneWild can hover. I don't know about apathyduck. So GanonsGoneWild heading into Thieves Town now. There was nothing really important in here, but we are going to see an item on Landmo from apathyduck.
Yep. And with Fire Rod, this should be a pretty quick fight. One shot miss, but 5 of them connect, so this one snake will be down very shortly.
Yeah, apathy having to settle for a 3 cycle there. And just 10 arrows, so Desert Palace, no progression. But it is crystal number 3, so apathy is halfway to the goal. So the question is, where do you go next?
I think at this point you are kind of priced into a Palace of Darkness play without the bow.
Yeah, that or Eastern. We're going to see Agina, so this could have something. It is an Ether Medallion. So again, with both Medallion dungeons being pendants, that's not likely to be required, but also not out of the question.
Yep. Chat asking about some of the requirements between Fire Rod and Lamp with the advanced logic. Agnos Tower still requires a lamp. The Fire Rod does not get you through a couple of the rooms.
Yeah, it's definitely possible to do without the lamp. It's definitely one of the trickier hard rooms, though, or dark rooms.
But yeah, as mentioned, 6/6 can be a lampless seed. This one can't because both Eastern and Pod are crystals, but you can absolutely have a seed where a lamp is not even required in 6/6.
Happily checking back of escape and finding the Titan's mitts. So, surprisingly, neither runner has checked back of escape yet.
That's a huge find. On the downside, that's going to put Apathy further away from finding out where that hook shot is, and if he needs it and can't hover, that might be more of a curse than a blessing.
Yeah, Apathy hasn't checked Lumberjack. In fact, did all the boots checks, but did not check the Lumberjack. And now checking the Dark Cross, finding a Master Sword. And that's in logic with that Fire Rod.
Sure is.
So that'll open up both tablets for progression.
Yep, the entire world is now open to apathyduck except for 3 chests in Hookshot Cave.
So first order of business, going to check out the mire area. And we do see bombos required to get into mire. But yeah, we're now in bow hunt mode. That's the only thing we need to complete this seed now. After checking it out, checkerboard cave, just 10 arrows in there. So possibly an ice palace dive. No one can check Dark Death Mountain first. Definitely a bit denser over here. And we'd like to go mode Ice Palace if you can.
Yeah, and there's a potential that he can do everything in Turtle Rock if he's got the right medallions. That's 5, 6, 7, 8 items.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a gamble to go into Turtle Rock before Ice Palace, but not that big a gamble considering just how many items are in there and how strongly the seed seems to be pointing us to Turtle Rock.
Plus a 9th item here with the Ether Tablet.
And after that's going to get blocked by some dead rocks. And just decides to reset the dead rocks by running to the left so that they get moved off the screen.
Yeah, good job of despawning those dead rocks. Otherwise, you're sitting there for about 10 seconds just waiting.
Alright, Ether Medallion to get into Turtle Rock. apathyduck has that.
I would have opened it.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't. I guess not planning to go in there. Super Bunny Cave has some bombs and some more bombs.
Yeah, I don't really know the value of making this play unless you can hover, in which case you can get everything in Hookshot Cave, if you're not willing to make a Turtle Rock dip.
Yeah, so we are going to find out here how apathyduck feels about hover. 10 arrows in the first chest. And he is going to set up for a hover here. Does not get very far on the first attempt. Meanwhile, GanonsGoneWild heading into Landmo. apathyduck having some trouble with the hovering. And decides to move on, so this could be very bad news for apathyduck, as they may have to do Aga Tower to get that hook shot.
Yeah, he doesn't know the dirty little secret of this seed yet, but he may really look back on that cave and a little bit of regret.
I'm gonna hop in the spike cave now using that blue potion. And just some bombs there. Alright, so Apathy off to do what looks to be the Smith chain next. As GanonsGoneWild heads in the back of Escape, and we'll get those Titans mitts.
Yeah, we'll see if he moves on and gets the sword as well. Choosing to leave the Dark Cross item behind, which we know is a sword, but it's a hard. It's one of the harder dark rooms actually.
Yeah. But kind of a surprising skip to me. You're right there, and you're pretty much never coming back until it's one of your last locations. But GanonsGoneWild stopping off to buy some potions. I wonder if he is setting up for a nice pals play.
Could be. He also used both of the freebie potions so far this seed.
There's our Quake medallion. apathyduck knows that that's not needed, so not sure why he picked it up, but whatever. And GanonsGoneWild. Is he going to go to Aga? Yeah, looks like he is.
So he's going to go get his hook shot, which means he's going to do Aga's Tower Dark.
This is surprising to me. I thought GanonsGoneWild could hover, but he may be thinking there's a good chance that the bow could just be in Swamp Palace, in which case that hookshot's required regardless.
Meanwhile, apathyduck is leaving the chest behind for a cool little skip. So as it turns out, if you mirror quickly back enough and talk to the thief, he thinks you has the chest even though you don't, and gives you the reward.
apathyduck. Now I'm going to check that Bombos tablet. Finding blue cane, not very useful at this point. We already have the cape. We've already done Spike Cave, so that's kind of a dud.
Yep, I'd guess here we're looking at either a dip into swamp without the hook shot, or possibly going to pod.
Yeah, I'm wondering why he's avoiding Ice Palace.
Meanwhile, GanonsGoneWild doing a really good job getting through the dark rooms of Aghanim's Tower with minimal damage.
Yeah, using that fire rod to light the torches. Most of the dark rooms in Aga Tower have torches, but a few of them don't, which is why it's not in logic.
Apathyduck check the pyramid and nothing useful there, and he's gonna make his way into pod.
Yeah, this is a very surprising gamble to me. I really don't see why you avoid Ice Palace here. So hopefully, maybe we'll get a chance to ask him about that in the interview.
Yeah, maybe he's just decided that Ice Palace is the dungeon that he wants to skip or go mode the most of what's left.
Ganon's on that Aghanim fight. I haven't been counting blue balls, but it seems like there's been a few of them.
Enough to get some angry slashes going. From that count is 4.
And apathyduck is out of pod. It is bow locked. And he's going to go into Eastern.
Meanwhile, GanonsGoneWild's saving quitting, I would assume, to go get that hook shot and head directly into Swamp.
There's that big key of Eastern as GanonsGoneWild bonks the tree open. And we'll pick up that hook shot.
So if your GanonsGoneWild, you need a bow and you need a sword for go mode. And if you're apathyduck, you need a hook shot and a bow.
Yeah, and if there's not another sword easily available, that sword in Dark Cross that he skipped could be a big factor. There's a red rupee in the Eastern Palace big chest.
Yeah, so far the Eastern Pod area has not produced a lot of valuable equipment.
And just bombs, so Eastern and Pod a dud for Apathy. Let's see if he goes back into Pod. No, he's not going to do that. He could potion glitch to get some more items in Pod, but decides not to do that, or maybe he doesn't have a potion.
I think he still has one left.
Yeah. Meanwhile, GanonsGoneWild finds powder in the first chest of Swamp Palace. Yeah, And again, having a tough situation with the health there on Greenmail. Enemies do a lot of damage, especially in the Dark World.
Yeah, and Swamp is one of those dungeons where every little thing here and there can kind of nip away at you. A lot of the rooms have shooters going at you constantly, and shooters when you slash.
Yeah, we see now apathyduck heading into Ice Palace finally.
GanonsGoneWild popping another potion. Just be on the safe side. Any enemy hitting him in this room would have killed him.
There's our last bottle in Ice Palace, containing a red potion. And a convenient big key just next to the big key chest in Swamp Palace. And that big chest only holding a map, so we know there's at least one item on the left side of Swamp.
Yeah, I think after finding that the map and the big chest, I might have been tempted to go straight and do left side and make this a one-stop trip to the Swamp.
apathyduck now setting up for that Ice Palace bomb jump. And, oh, gets it, but falls into the hole afterwards. That's annoying. Oh, there's another sword for Ganons. So, no worries about swords now.
We may end up in the same situation I ended up in their last race, where apathyduck was a sword ahead and nearly caught up.
Yeah, without those silvers, the swords still are important in terms of how long it's going to take you to do some of those boss fights, Ganon in particular.
Yeah, last time it came down to sword difference, but silvers were on Crystal Trinex to give GanonsGoneWild a bit of time back.
apathyduck getting a really nice ice palace stair clip there. And there's our lamp.
So that puts Hookshot in logic for apathyduck.
Yep. But of course, he still hasn't checked Lumberjack. He doesn't know it's there. And he's going to have to set up a bomb jump here to get across to the right side of Ice Palace. Meanwhile, GanonsGoneWild getting Argus down, just 20 rupees on Argus. I do believe there's 2 items remaining on the left side. So we'll see if he decides to go back for those.
Meanwhile, apathyduck doing one of the harder bomb jumps in the game in that hookshot room and getting it clean first try.
Yeah, that bomb jump has a particular setup that's not the easiest of bomb jumps. It's not terribly difficult either. GanonsGoneWild gonna check that bombless tablet. We know there is a cane of Burna sitting there. And yeah, GanonsGoneWild not checking left side swamp, skipping out on 2 items in there. And is he diving Misery Mire? Looks like he is. He just hasn't checked this area yet.
Yeah, this is his first trip into the Dark World side of this.
So I have to wonder if we are going to require a Turtle Rock tip here, because we are slowly running out of locations where that bow can be.
Yeah, either Turtle Rock or Mire or Left Side Swamp. There's also Hookshot Cave. After I tried to hover a little bit earlier, but couldn't get to those other 3 chests.
And GanonsGoneWild has something else on the mind, and that's Pyramid Fairy. So 2 items in there. And just a compass in the Ice Pal's big chest, so I believe there's an item on Cold Stare.
Yeah, there's got to be. There's no way that apathyduck would have done another bomb jump just to get big chest if there wasn't another item to get.
And a heads up play from Ganons here. He has got that Aghanim portal, so he'll be able to save a little bit of time turning in this big bomb. And apathyduck facing off against Cold Stare. We get a shovel out of the Pyramid Fairy.
Yep, we'll have to keep the mystery a little bit longer on what all of this hookshot is locked.
Again, this fight really showing the power of the swords. apathyduck had found that last sword in Swamp Palace. This will be a much quicker fight.
He did pick. It's a done. He did pick up Blue Mail, which makes that fight a lot simpler. And there is a bow under a shovel.
And that is go mode for GanonsGoneWild. He just has to run over, take out Eastern, and pod really quickly. And apathyduck is miles behind at this point.
Yeah, it is hard to see a way out for this one.
So it is looking like that hookshot was hard required to beat Swamp and get that bow. Now it is possible there's another bow somewhere else in the game that doesn't require the hookshot, but apathyduck would still have to find that, would still have to beat Eastern and Pod. So this is definitely looking like Ganon's race to lose.
Yep, the only thing that might be in the back of GanonsGoneWild's mind is his Ganon fight last night was not the cleanest on Master Sword. And he did have Silver Zen. He might still be thinking about getting another sword somewhere and checking more than just a go mode.
Yeah, now there is, I believe the big key was not in the front of Pod, so he's going to be checking the back here. So I might find another sword or even another bow. Well, it looks like apathyduck's heading to Turtle Rock.
Yep, after the seed spent a whole lot of time telling you to go over there, only to lie to you.
And there's that big key, and Gans is out of here as apathyduck heads into Turtle Rock. And apathyduck taking the wrong way around here, did not have the hook shot. And he's not happy about doing that.
No, you need a lot of frustration right now. There's definitely no apathy being shown, that's for sure.
And again, GanonsGoneWild in the dark turtle room here using the fire rod to light that torch. So definitely will not be getting that lamp out of Ice Palace. So that does kind of make that Ganon fight a little bit harder. Getting that torch glitch is something you really want if you're going to be doing Master Sword Silverless. And it's harder to get the torch glitch with the fire rod than with the lamp.
Even without the even with the torch glitch, you have to be perfect or bring a blue pot with you on Master Sword if you don't have half magic.
Yeah. I imagine we'll probably see GanonsGoneWild stop into the potion shop before heading up to GT.
Yeah, with 3 bottles, you can pick up a blue and a green and should be okay.
Yeah, it doesn't have enough money for a whole bunch of blues, but should be alright.
I think he also has 1 blue still from his first potion shop visit.
Yeah, he may also dip into Hookshot Cave on his way to GT. There's a few quick item checks there. You know, if you find, ideally you'd find the silvers or another sword, but even just finding like a mail or some sort of item for safety would be pretty nice.
Yeah, or even half magic.
Apathyduck getting a bit deeper into Turtle Rock. Don't think we found anything interesting so far.
No, it's been pretty barren, the front part of Turtle Rock.
So GanonsGoneWild just looking for that big key. Actually, I already got it, I think.
Yeah, Big Key was in map chest today.
Yeah, gonna check a couple extra chests on the way. So we know there is 1 sword GanonsGoneWild left behind. That was in Dark Cross. So there is still 1 sword and another bow somewhere at large.
And there's also 1 mail still.
Yeah, at this point, you know, on 10 hearts, green mail, you know, GanonsGoneWild is a very skilled runner. So I don't think he'll have too much problem, but finding that blue mail would still allow him to play things a little bit safer. Yeah, chat talking, what happens if GanonsGoneWild forgets that it's 6-6 and does Ice Palace? Again, he's got a huge lead at this point, so I don't think that's going to happen. Apathyduck coming up on Laser Bridge now. And nice quick kill from Ganons. That was an interesting setup. Apathyduck having a bit of trouble here on Laser Bridge. Gonna pop
Yeah,
a
his
red
beetle's
potion.
giving him fits.
There's that small key, a heart container. And nothing really much on Laser Bridge, so he's off to fight Trinex. And there's Gans goes, doesn't have enough money for a second blue, decides to go for a green.
Yep, and he still had one other blue from earlier, so 2 blues and a green should be enough for a Master Sword Silver's fight.
Yeah, he does have that bug net too, so he could opt to catch a fairy at some point if he really needs even more safeties.
And with Powder, shouldn't have much of a problem with Ganon's tower itself. It's most of the Ganon fight that'll be worrisome.
And again, apathyduck having a bit of a longer Trinex fight with that Master Sword, but actually getting through it pretty well here. And swapping over to Hammer for the final few hits.
Yeah, well done fight. So yeah, as GanonsGoneWild makes his way over to Ganon's tower, we don't have our bots in. They're in the shop, so we don't have an official big key guessing game. But there are 22 locations where that big key could be in Ganon's tower, and if you guess right, you get to feel good about yourself.
Yeah, and apathyduck getting that pendant out of Turtle Rock. And there was actually a compass on Trinex. I'm not sure, maybe he didn't count items. Because I'm pretty sure, did he
No,
check pedestal or was it GanonsGoneWild?
GanonsGoneWild check pedestal.
Oh, okay.
Um,
It looks like apathyduck heading into Tower of Hera now. We know this is completely useless. Oh, you know what? He couldn't mirror out because he had gone outside the Mimic Cave, so he had to... I guess his quickest way to get to Hera is to just beat Trinex.
Yep.
Again, went right side first, did not get a small key, so has to go left. And there's a small key on the torch. Now into DM's room, small key, piece of heart, map, and some bombs.
apathyduck getting his green pendant. I'll see if he goes to turn that in or if he heads over to Meyer.
Yeah, at this point it kind of feels like he's just rushing pendants now.
He may feel like the only way he can win is if it's a pedestal seed.
Yeah, it never feels good when you're banking on the pedestal because that pedestal just is always so unlikely. Again, it's on the rando room here. We got some bombs, bunch of money, some arrows, bunch more money. Probably kind of wish you had all that money before buying potions.
Yeah. All the money in Ganos Tower today, yesterday's race, all the money was in Kakariko.
Alright, on to Bob's chest and then Ice Armos.
There it is in Bob's chest. That's number 14.
And GanonsGoneWild is going to start the GT Ascent. Going to be very careful to avoid these spikes here. Can't blame him with this equipment loadout. Definitely a very low equipment in a normal difficulty seed.
Yeah, this seed has definitely put some of our low percent strategies to the test. Especially the Motho fight earlier.
And apathyduck is heading into Mire.
Yep, apathyduck making pretty much the only play I think he can make in his mind is pedestal and prey. We know that's not going to pay off for him.
And Ganon's heading into the fairy room here.
Nothing of note in Mire for apathyduck yet. We do know there's still one more bow and one more sword floating around somewhere in the world. GanonsGoneWild getting a nice assist with the spikes in the Red Horse headroom, getting a quick kill on one of them. And GanonsGoneWild opted to use the green potion he had here to use Fire Rod for this fight. Without a lamp, that's going to make him use another potion before the torch room.
Yeah. Definitely not ideal. Although you never know, he might get lucky, get a full magic drop off some of these enemies here.
apathyduck, meanwhile, found half magic in Mire. So we know that there won't be a bailout in that nature for GanonsGoneWild up here in Ganon's Tower. And red mail. Very nicely done by GanonsGoneWild, using all of the magic drops in that room to not have to crack his potion. Just some cash and key before Moldorm.
Meanwhile, apathyduck can use cape strats on Vitreous.
Well done by apathyduck getting through phase 1.
Meanwhile, GanonsGoneWild is up to Agate 2. And there's a third pendant for apathyduck. So you have to think a blind pedestal pull is going to be incoming.
GanonsGoneWild with a very clean Agnum 2 fight, and he's on his way to stick a pig. Beforehand, it looks like he's going to check.
Oh, he's going to
he's
go
gonna
grab
mirror
a
and go.
fairy. No?
He's going to go grab potions.
This could be definitely a good idea, potentially. Especially when you don't have that lamp. Well, apathyduck going to find some, I believe it was couch cash. Yeah, there it is, the 20 rupees.
Big 20 for apathyduck. I think this is a good idea from GanonsGoneWild. You don't know how close the race is, but falling on Ganon or running out of magic, it's going to mean you're spending another 2+ minutes in the fight. Getting the potions probably 30 seconds or so.
And apathyduck is maybe heading into swamp with no hookshot.
I think so.
That's really unfortunate. But GanonsGoneWild beginning the Ganon fight. This is one of the toughest versions of this fight that you can have. He's Master Sword Silverless, no lamp, green mail, only 11 hearts. This is the kind of equipment you see like in a hard or an expert seed, not in a normal seed.
Yeah, this is slightly more you have in low percent NMG.
Yeah, probably very close to that, with the exception of having 3 bottles.
So it's 12 spins for the first phase, 12 spins for the second phase, 4 spins in phase 3, and then 24 spins to end it out. GanonsGoneWild, knowing he has those blue potions, is going to choose to use some cape strats to get a bunch of these spins in to start off with.
Yeah, that's... I'm not sure how I feel about that. I mean, he does have a lot of potions. At the same time, he doesn't have lamp. If he misses that torch glitch, He's gonna need all those potions.
We're through 2 phases. So the other bow was on was in behind
no,
Armos.
Sorry, this is the torch glitch.
It's gonna keep going at it. I don't know if I would have maybe just dropped there and reset.
Yeah, he's gonna reset the fight. I think this is the right play. I just don't think you have enough. Like, even if you land all your hits perfectly, you might barely have enough magic, but that's really hard to do.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can even get triples having to light both torches, and it's a quarter bar every cycle.
And he's off to get more potions.
Yep, you should buy a green here, use it, and then buy another blue.
And this, again, we know he did skip a sword at Dark Cross, and that would have really helped out in this fight.
Yep, and Ganon said the other arrows were in his tower, which means they had to be behind Ice Armos. Or
Yeah,
in or in Tile Room.
Or in Tile Room, yeah. I'm not sure if Ganon's actually checked all the chests upstairs. Did he?
He did.
Okay. Alright, we're on to round 2.
I don't think we'll see a repeat of the Cape strats in Phase 2.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, apathyduck is a little confused.
Yeah, having cleared out the front of Swamp and got nothing. So we know apathyduck needs to go to Aga to get that hook shot off the Lumberjack ledge. And that hook shot is locking the only bow we know about.
It's locking both of the bows because the other one's in Ganon's tower.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
GanonsGoneWild through Phase 2 again, cracking his pot. See if he can get the torch glitch this time. Misses it again.
Oh no. He's gonna try this fight. There's 1 spin, 2 spins. So he's only gonna be able to get 8 spins on each full magic bar. Because it's very difficult to get triples without the torch glitch. And he's already missed one. I don't think he's gonna be able to do this. I mean, he has to hit very perfectly.
Yeah, he's got to be perfect from here on out. And that solves
Ooh.
that problem.
All right, well. Yeah, this is a bit of a pickle. So, I'm not sure how many potions he has left. He has money for at least one more blue and a green.
Yeah, he's got 2 bottles full of blue potion.
At this point, you almost wonder if it's worth going back to GT to find those silvers. I mean, the problem is he doesn't know that he's way ahead.
Right.
If he knew where apathyduck was, he would know. He has time to go to GT, get those silvers.
Yeah. Meanwhile, apathyduck finding out the bad news.
Yeah, finds out that hookshot's there, so he's off to do Aga now. But yeah, so the problem is Gans might, you know, for all he knows, Apathy is on Ganon right now himself. So he just doesn't know if he has time to go to GT for those silvers.
Yeah, and unfortunately, every other location he has is either one of the 2 pendant dungeons he hasn't touched yet, or one-off locations. The only thing that's really convenient for him to check is Dark Cross, and the sword is there, but he doesn't know it.
Yeah.
Chat bringing up a good point, though, that GanonsGoneWild probably should save and quit at some point.
Yeah.
So that he can just hard reset now that he's starting to run out of cash.
So he's going to play this one very safe. You really want to be able to make it to phase 3 without having used a potion. Because you need all the magic you can get for phase 4 here. Ooh, taking a hit from the bat.
Yeah, it's a real dangerous place. One more hit from one of those bats, and GanonsGoneWild will die. Chat asking about the fairy bottle rewards. We know the Waterfall Fairy was a fairy in a bottle. We don't know what Pyramid Fairy gives.
And GanonsGoneWild is popping a blue potion here. So he is absolutely going to need to get that torch glitch. Ooh, getting some fire bats here. Getting a lot of fire bats. It's dangerous.
He missed it again?
I know.
Yeah, and he spent an extra shot lighting the torch. On the left, there's no way he's going to get to 24 with this.
And he's going to save and quit. I think he's going against tower. I think he's going to go pick up those silvers. Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Meanwhile, apathyduck almost through Aghanim 1, and he'll have his hookshot pretty soon.
What an absolutely wild finish.
Yeah, this is one of the weirdest seeds. It's a 6-6 seed, and yet we're going to see one runner do all dungeons.
Yeah, I thought we were going to be doing interviews like 10 minutes ago, but this has been a really tough Ganon fight for GanonsGoneWild and a really tough hookshot hunt for apathyduck, who finally has Aghanim down.
Yeah, and it really starts to play on your mind when you have so many failures at one spot. That might be messing with GanonsGoneWild's confidence a little bit right now.
Yeah. And he's going to quickly check hookshot cave here, maybe hoping instead to find a tempered sword.
Yeah, it'd be a lot faster for him than going through all of Ganon's tower to get those silvers wherever they're at. There is the tempered sword.
And the mushroom for good measure. So at this point, you know, most runners are pretty confident with tempered. Yeah, he's not going to bother with the silvers at this point. And, well, he could have just saved and quit to go to the pyramid, you know. If you have Aga down, you can do that. Oh, he wants to get potions first, though.
He's going to get another potion. And he'll probably save and quit from here.
Yeah. At this point, if you're GanonsGoneWild, well, if you're either of these runners, you're just wondering what in the heck happened to my opponent that they haven't done yet. Because both of these runners are probably just have their eyes glued to that race room, just waiting for that done to happen. This has been a wild race.
Yep, in two completely different ways. Like, GanonsGoneWild's got to imagine apathyduck's right on his tail, and all those Ganon falls and Ganon fails have really put him behind the 8-ball, where apathyduck is spent all day looking for a hookshot.
Alright, tempered sword in hand. This is a fight good random players are going to have no trouble with at all. Even if he misses the torch glitch, he still shouldn't have much trouble with it.
Ganon getting all the teleports in from the other three runs, all into this one. There's a torch glitch.
Finally gets it. I haven't been counting, but can't be very many more hits here.
I think we're about halfway done with this fight, maybe a little bit more. Nice triple there.
Yeah, most runners are, especially top level runners, are very good at getting those triples when you have the torch glitch. as soon as you miss that glitch, a lot of people kind of don't know what to do because it's not something you just practice that often.
There it is.
All right, get your GGs in chat for GanonsGoneWild. Assuming he does not fall off that bridge, he's gonna come in. And he does cross the line, winning with a time of 1 hour, 44 minutes, 28 seconds. And apathyduck immediately throws in the towel. Does not want to finish this mess. So that is 2 games for GanonsGoneWild, who will move on to the winners bracket. And looks like we are now joined by apathyduck. GG's on that run. Are you how are you feeling after that?
Oh. I don't even know if I've gotten the hook shot if I saw it, so whatever.
Yeah, this was a wild race. You seem to have a lead early on, and then GanonsGoneWild with that gamble to go up and get the hook shot early, and getting that bow put him in go mode.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have gotten it if I knew about it just before TR at the very least. So even if I knew about it, like I probably would have done TR. I might have just done ped anyways. Honestly, cleared out the dungeons. I wouldn't have done those the couple of checks that I just had orphaned. I wouldn't have done those.
Yeah, so I saw you talking a bit with Ganon. He had one of the most difficult fights you can get in this mode on Ganon. He had Master Sword Silver. He skipped Dark Cross, which had a sword, and he never did Ice Palace, which had the lamp.
Oh, that's where he was asking me. I was like, where the hell did I find lamp?
Yeah. So he was on Master Sword Silver's no half magic, no lamp. He did have all the bottles. Oh, and we are joined now by GanonsGoneWild. GG's, congrats
Yeah.
on your victory. That was a wild race to watch. It was a fun one.
Fun for the viewers.
Was it?
So, do you want to know where some of the items you missed are?
Sure.
All right, the lamp was in Ice Palace.
Hmm.
You skipped a sword at Dark Cross.
Oh.
Yeah, that would have been helpful. And neither of you got the other silvers, but we know they were in GT. We saw you kind of going there. And the half magic was in Misery Mire.
Ah.
So
Sounds...
all kind of out of the way locations, but yeah, I definitely don't blame you for just deciding, you know what, I'm just going to go grab the silvers.
Yeah, I was just going for the silvers because I was like, this is a total disaster. I can't get torch glitch for some unknown reason, so I will just be a noob and go get silvers.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I screwed up quadrant glitch, so.
So we spent a lot of this seed thinking that it was possibly a hover seed, with seeing hookshot on Lumberjack Ledge and Swamp in a 660 not necessarily being available. Apathy, you went for a hover a little earlier in the seed, and hookshot cave didn't quite get it. Was that in your back of your mind?
Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't. I mean, I'm not great at hovers, but I can pull them off. Either that, or I could have gone for the bounce if it came down to it. So, like, if I saw that hook shot, I probably wouldn't, because once you saw the dungeon layouts, and with all the stuff I had early, like, I wasn't even thinking swamp. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get the bow and I'll do pod and eastern. So like bow had to have been required because it was 2 dungeons.
Yeah.
So like I said, even if I I almost went up there. Like he saw me like walking up. I was like, screw it. And I just left.
Yeah, pretty crazy that both bows ended up locked behind that hook shot.
Yeah, that, like my early game went so bad. Like I did Hera, that was nothing, and then I died in Spiral Cave, and then went back up, and then like I was like, okay, I'm like 10 minutes behind. I figured that the hook shot, even if he saw it, he probably wouldn't go for it. So I figured that was the only chance I really had.
Well, it definitely paid off.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty lucky, though, to be honest.
Yeah.
Can't even
So,
throw a Samari block.
So where's this gonna take you?
Oh, this glitch.
This
Ideally,
is
I would take you to Aga. I was gonna go to Aga 2 and then kill Ganon, but I messed up the spin.
But yeah, back to what was I about to ask? You're distracting me with all these glitches.
Alright, yeah, if I got the quadrant, you have to despawn the quadrants with that spin, but I was on the wrong pixel, I haven't done it in a while. But now you get to look at Rainbow Link, so there you go.
Okay, I remember what I was gonna ask. So, Ganons, when you were heading up GT, how are you feeling? Did you feel ahead or behind?
At that point, I kind of felt ahead because, like, well, I really had no idea what it depended on the bow, basically. Like, I kind of thought I was ahead if, like, the bow, the second bow was like in a trolley spot or actually locked behind, also hookshot, which. So I thought there was a good chance I was like massively ahead, but that also could be completely false if the bow was just somewhere like that he walked into. And so when he didn't got done, like after failing for like 5 or 6 minutes, I was like, okay, like probably the bow is not somewhere good, so maybe I have a chance.
Yeah.
I really regret not going into Hookshot Cave. As I ran past it, I was like, I should totally go in here and just look for a Sword of the Silvers. And then there's Tempered, and I just didn't get it.
Apathy. One question I had for you. So, after you found those Titans mitts, you had Ice Palace fully available, but you decided to go into Pod and Eastern first. What was your thinking there?
I don't know. I suppose it's just 3 pod. If it was bow lock, was going to kick me out pretty quickly. So there was like potentially like 8 items over there. So it was kind of getting down to it, and I was thinking mostly either going to be pod or I had Turtle Rock in my mind for a while. That's why I did that afterwards. But I did Ice Palace first.
Yeah, these early items were definitely pointing towards Turtle Rock, and of course, it turned out to be completely empty.
Yeah, I mean Ice Router. I mean I did everything early. So I don't even know. Like I think Mitz was like my go -1. I think I got that at like 35 minutes, 40 minutes. Like I had it fairly early.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I just need like I had Skullwoods and Thieves Town done fairly early. And like at that point I was feeling pretty good. I was like, okay, I kind of took stock. I'm like, well, all I need is mitts and bow, and there's 2 bows, so I'm probably gonna run into that soon. And I found mitts. I was like, all right.
Yeah. No, this was just a ridiculous seed, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that it was 6/6 really made it kind of wacky.
Yeah. So Apathy Duck, you chose 6/6. Was there any particular reason you chose that?
To avoid this. My issue a lot is I'm missing 1 item and I full clear something to find it. And with like I mean the bow is the only item. Well, I guess there's a couple items that lock 2 dungeons like bow or Cane of Samar or something. But especially with Tibrit being 2 bows, I was like, yeah, we'll do 6/6. That way, like if I don't get I'm not flipping coins for Ice Rod or a medallion or something.
Yeah.
So that was the main thought. But it gave it to me anyways, so you know, whatever.
Yeah, well, rando gonna rando, I guess. So, I'm not sure who else is in your group. So, Ganon, you'll be moving on to face the winner of the other series in that group.
It's Kappa and Phyleon.
Captain Phyleon, okay. Any particular thoughts about either of those opponents?
I I think everybody in my group is actually like totally solid runners, and anybody could come out first, last, whatever. So I'll probably have to play better because I just kind of got lucky this time, and I don't know. My execution has just been really bad. Like died in Overworld, the seed and last seed. So I don't know.
I played Plasma in another mini tournament not too long ago, and he destroyed me like a 105 to what would have been like a 140 because of a Quake in Spike Cave, and he had Hammer early and I didn't. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely a really solid runner.
He's either gonna 105 or like 2 hours, and you don't know which one it's gonna be.
All right. I guess we'll start to wrap things up here. James, did you have any other questions for the runners?
No, it's one thing is, what do you think about the other options? Are you going to go 6-6 again if you get in that position, apathyduck, or are you going to look at one of the other options for next time?
I'm gonna take my sword from now on. If only you could give me boots. If it was assured boots, oh my god, I would slam pick that so hard.
I think that would just be the tournament setting.
I can agree with that. I love boot start seeds.
Assured ice rod.
Yeah, I would do that every time.
All right. Before we wrap up, though, I do want to take a moment to shout out to our tracker today, Link40. Did an excellent job keeping us up to date on everything. Trackers are, of course, one of the most important parts of these broadcasts. So thank you, Link40. So this is, I do believe, the last race for tonight. There is a very early race tomorrow, I believe, starting at, as soon as I load the schedule here, where is it? Yeah, starting at 6:05 a.m. Eastern Time. That'll be Maximum Barnage versus Top Life. So, yeah, if you're around to catch that, that'll be on the main Speed Gaming channel. But other than that, we got a ton of matches tomorrow. There's going to be tons of matches over the next few weeks of these group stages. Again, 128 players in total, so lots and lots of action to catch. Well, congratulations on moving on, GanonsGoneWild, and for both of you, best of luck in your next series.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks.
And I think that's going to do it for us. So I'll throw it over to you, James, for the last words.
Another entertaining race, and a lot more to look forward to in the days and weeks to come. So for Edium, I'm James FNX, and we will see you again next time.